Hi, guys. Welcome to Vetted. I'm Patrick. Let's jump in. Got a great clip for you, actually, too. Okay, Stephen Greenstreet, what do you think of him? Down in the comment below. Let me know just your overall thoughts on him, because this is what these clips are about. As you can see, I'm on his Twitter right now. And, yeah, this is a little interesting from Stephen Greenstreet. So let's look at this tweet. A small sampling of the Hill's UFO mania. The Hill is owned by Nexstar, the same company that owns News Nation, America's UFO news channel. Nexstar also owns Mystery Wire, run by George Knapp, a UFO celebrity and friend of UFO whistleblower David Grush. Bit odd, isn't it? Okay, then he goes on to Nexstar also owns 8 News Now, workplace of George Knapp, and the source of many fake UFO stories that have gone viral worldwide, including the recent aliens in my backyard hoax. So, I just didn't appreciate this, and I did write a tweet responding to this. So let's see if I can pull it up here. Right here. So, yeah, I mean, look, this is ridiculous. Okay, I wrote, and the New York Post is owned by Murdoch's News Corp. Do we really need to bring up Rupert Murdoch's history? The New York Post is categorically a tabloid and has been publishing sensationalist content for decades. Curious what your point is. And look, I only got 5 views. Okay, look, we just got our Twitter vetted. We have like 30 followers or something. Okay, so don't get excited. I don't have a personal Twitter. In fact, we were never on Twitter. I've never been on Twitter until this. So, very interesting. Anyway, yes. So what's the point here, right? Like, what's he getting at? I mean, the New York Post is a tabloid. Okay, they put stories about UFOs and ghosts and all kinds of stuff. Like, what is he talking about? There's literally other video series on the New York Post YouTube channel that is about ghosts in New York, ghost hunting. What is he talking about? He's trying to imply something nefarious here, right? Like, just saying, a bit odd, isn't it, that all this is owned by the same? Okay, look where you work. Look who owns that. Look at the stuff y'all publish. Is the New York Post not like America's tabloid? Like, what are you talking about? You work for that. Like, to imply that these people at the Hill, these great journalists, okay, who are just reporting on what's happening, so ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So he makes 0 sense. And you can do a deep dive on Rupert Murdoch and News Corp and find out all about New York Post. Actually started by Alexander Hamilton. Great story about that newspaper as a whole, the history. But in 1993, it was bought by News Corp. Robert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch, sorry. No, not Rupert Murdoch. What did I say? Yeah, Rupert Murdoch. Robert Murdoch. Who was Robert Murdoch? I don't know. Anyway, so many names to remember, right? Again, I just didn't see the point of this. I mean, he works for the Post. Again, the New York Post. It's a tabloid. It's literally categorized as a tabloid. So I don't know what soapbox he's standing on with that. Didn't make any sense. And I'm not saying I hate Stephen Greenstreet. I would love to interview him. I just interviewed Mick West, and we have that interview coming out next week. But, yeah, I would ask him about this. I don't agree with this. I don't see the point of this. I feel like just Stephen Greenstreet's gotten very trolly, right? Very bitter, very passive-aggressive, very angry, very non-journalist. He's very biased. You know exactly where he stands on everything, right? He's constantly like, I'm just reporting the facts, which does happen, but he also has to throw in the sauce. He's also got to throw in the insults and the trolls and the passive-aggressive and the, And again, none of us are perfect, but it's just a constant with him. And it's not like just a one-off that he regrets and deletes and moves on. We've all been there. And he does seem to have some sort of sock puppet accounts that I have seen some proof of, at least looks like close enough. And he doesn't respond to it, which is interesting. Again, Stephen Greenstreet, I'm going to get to this other clip, is interesting because I have tried to reach out, and our our company, who runs Vetted, and another podcast that I run called Lone Star Plate, and I'm part of a podcast group. There's many other podcasts in England. The company's based out of England. And anyway, we try to reach out. We have a talent acquisition person, just like New York Post does. And we get all kinds of celebrities. I interview all kinds of celebrities on my other podcast, my main one. And he just blew us off. And we always get responses, okay? Like Matthew McConaughey, okay? Oscar-winning actor. Yeah, man. Da-da-da-da-da. You name it, they respond. Not Stephen Greenstreet. And he complains in his articles all the time that people don't reach out back to him. They don't respond. They haven't responded. I haven't heard from Brandon Fugel or whatever, but he does the same thing. He ignores messages too. So maybe the same reason you're ignoring messages or not responding, or maybe not even seeing them, maybe these other people are doing that to you, and that's okay. Should I report on that you don't respond? You hardly do any interviews. You don't want to face tough questions, only with people that won't give you the tough questions. You kind of want to have like a, yeah, everyone sucks, bro, sort of conversation. I'm not down for those, But I'm also not into the drama either, Like, let's just get to the truth. Why all this drama? I don't see the point. I mean, if he doesn't see the hypocrisy and the irony of him pointing out about the Hill and Nexstar, him working at the New York Post, that's hilarious. I mean, if he worked at the Times or Washington Post or, I don't know, but not the New York Post. I mean, it's like the Inquirer. So I'm just saying. Anyway, let's look at this other one that I just not fair. Let's put it that way. That this one wasn't fair, and neither was this. Okay, so he wrote right here. It's about right here. Stephen Greenstreet, yeah, guilty. Okay, so let me play this.
Guilty. We actually did meet. There's some bullshit story that we met at a Star Trek convention. Yeah, guilty. We actually did meet at a Star Trek convention. There's some bullshit story.
Okay, yeah, guilty. And he's implying, if you read through the comments, he's implying like that Jeremy Corbell's lying, right? He's not. Okay, dude, we don't know the difference between meet and met and like someone you know and don't know. You can meet someone you know, right? I met my friend for dinner last night, my friend of 20 years. Does that mean I'm just meeting him for the first time? No. And none of that is said in this. Neither has Jeremy Corbell ever mentioned that, right? And they met before this. They're just saying they also met at this Star Trek convention, probably a more deeper meeting, right? The first one was, hey, I'm getting to know you. This is more of a setup. I don't know. I'm just saying. This doesn't imply anything to me. Yeah, guilty. I mean, just like, it's like some sort of gotcha or something. Like, it has 282 likes, 57 reposts. Like, what's the gotcha here? Look, I'm all for the truth, and I'm not saying I love Jeremy Corbell, but I don't hate him, and I just want to be fair. This isn't being fair to him right here, in my opinion. And I've used clips of his in my story too. I've had different things on Vetted. I mean, I get it, but this just seems a little disingenuous, man. I got to admit, the more I see about Stephen Greenstreet, the more it makes me realize, like, God, I don't want to become this type of person doing this type of work, right? Like, angry and bitter and trolling and whatever. You can be a skeptic like John from the Black Vault and still do this. You don't have to be this way. You can be professional. I'm not saying I've been perfect either, because I haven't. And full disclosure, we have tried to reach out to Stephen Greenstreet, and I've, maybe even sent a couple pissed off messages of, why aren't you responding, dude? Like, I don't get this. Because the hypocrisy and the irony is killing me here with this guy. I definitely would love to talk to him. I think we'd actually have a pretty good conversation as long as he's willing to take some tough questions and not just sign off, which I've seen him get angry at some questions he's been asked. Anyway, Stephen Greenstreet, what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Really helps the algorithm. Daily videos on Vetted. actually starting today. It's our first one doing it. So every day I'm going to be doing some videos like this every day. All right, guys. Peace.